What is going on, guys? So today we are going to be taking off the petrol tank and we're going to try and fully restore it. Hopefully we're going to take off all the paint, the terrible paint job that's on there. We'll be taking that off and rubbing it down, trying to fix the chunk out of it there. Bearing in mind I have never done anything like this before, so it'll be a challenge for all of us. The tools I have, brought some wet and dry, some cutting compound, a sanding and polishing kit, some body filler, a 36mm socket for the triple clamp, duct tape, paint remover, primer, white paint and a clear lacquer, high gloss protection from oil and petrol. Obviously we need that for the petrol tank. And yeah, we have some plastic scrapers, brushes to get the paint off. So let's get to it. So let's get to work. That should do the trick. Okay, this is tight. There she is. These bolts are ridiculously long. Hopefully this just pops off as it does. No shut-off valve for the 04 R6s as it is fuel injection. So let's take the fuel lines off, disconnect it all and get the tank off. So disconnected all the fuel lines, all the components connected to the bottom of the tank. Almost killed myself when I left a ratchet and it made connection on both parts of the batteries, but you know, it's okay, it's all good, we're still here. So petrol tank's off now, so let's get it off and get to work. That's one side done. Onto the next. That's the tank all taped off. I'm going to take the petrol cap off and stuff some rag in there so we don't get nothing in there and get to the paint removal. Just going to go ahead and put all the bolts back into the respective holes because they are different sizes for some reason. So just so we don't get mixed up. That's that sorted. And we are ready to remove the paint. So we'll leave that to set in and we'll check back in a minute. So it's been 1 hour since we applied that coat. So let's see if it comes off. So let's give it a second coat. So now we're into that second coat and let's see how she comes off now. So after multiple coats and working hard trying to scrape it all off, we are starting to get somewhere. You know, it's all the side, it started to come off quite good here. You know, the top main part of the tank is really hard to get it off at the minute. I have no idea why. Just before this coat, I dried it all off. I've rubbed it down with 80 grit sandpaper, and I've gave it another coat. Now that's been left for an hour now, so I'm gonna give it one more coat, leave it for an hour, and then try and scrape it all off. See how that deals with it. Like an idiot, I never bought a mask, and I can really start to feel it getting on my chest though now. So strong this stuff is. And also make sure your work area is completely covered with something, because I'll give you a quick look of mine. It's not the best. I only put it up a couple of weeks ago, and now look at the state of it already. Just from stripping the paint off it, yeah, it kind of it's ruined. So as you can see, still come to no avail. So I've been out, done another trip. I bought a metal scraper instead of the plastic scrapers to see if they work. We'll give that a whirl. I've also bought some other paint stripper, because the first stuff that I was using, the dial, seems to be rubbish. I bought some Nitromors. We'll give that a whirl, and hopefully that's somewhat better, hopefully. So I'll get this on. I'll check back in. I've been to a local friend, as I've been trying all different techniques and nothing seems to be working, and all the paint strippers in the UK are absolutely rubbish. They're not strong enough. So I've been and spoke to him, and luckily enough he says he has a very strong paint stripper. So he said this stuff is extremely strong. So I'm guessing it can't be no worse than what we've already tried. So it's literally been about 5 minutes from putting a coat on. I don't know if you can see, but it's literally bubbling away at the paint. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I mean, literally, look at that. After everything I've tried, nothing has worked, and this is just literally fetching the paint off straight away. Finally. So I'll leave that for a little bit longer, and then I'll scrape all that off. So it has literally been 10 minutes, guys. I can hear the tank actually bubbling from the paint. So, oh my gosh. After literally 2 days of trying all different techniques, sanding it, scratching it, scrubbing it, paint removers, absolutely nothing worked whatsoever until now. This stuff is amazing. It's just literally melted through it. I really wish I could have got a mask, but with all this coronavirus shit going on, there's no masks available, not even painters, respirators. I've looked everywhere, I've been to about 10 different shops. So we're scraping it off now, and we're actually finally starting to get somewhere with the paint removal. You know, it's actually starting to be majority silver rather than all blue still. So massive thumbs up to this stuff. And here she is. Finally, we got there. All the blue factory paint apart from the bracket, which you'll never see. I'll just primer over the top of that. All the blue paint is fully off to where I'm happy. All the way around is the same. Fully got it all off. I'm going to repair that dent there and the one the opposite side. But yeah, there she is, finally. It's took long enough to get to this stage, 2 days. But and a fully wrecked worktop. Yep. So all preparation is done now. I have finished the body filler on both sides to a standard where I think is good enough. I hope anyway. I have wiped it all down with a degreaser and a cleaner, so all the surface is nice and clean now, not touching it with my hands. And yeah, let's get on to primer. About 10 to 15 minutes in between coats, and then 2 to 3 hours before applying the top coats. So we'll leave it 10 to 15 minutes, come back, give it another coat. So that's where we're at the minute, guys. It's had 2 coats of primer. We're going to give it a 3rd coat now, and it shouldn't be far away from painting now. So all the primer's done to where I think it's a good standard. So now we're going to go ahead and put the first coat of white paint. Coat 2. Okay, so I've gave it one last clean, guys. Clear coat has all been done, all the white paint's done now. So we're literally now ready. I'm just gonna put some rubbing compound on. I've just got a polishing pad. I'm gonna put some rubbing compound down, polish it up, get it back on the box. So there she is, guys, all complete, all painted, finished, petrol cap back on, painted the top bolts white, let's get her back on the bike. So there she is, guys, completely finished, full tank restoration. I must say she looks immaculate, shining real good from that rubbing compound and polish. Real good finish. Painted the bolts a little bit white just to set it off. Let me focus. There we go. There she is, guys, completely finished. Super happy with the outcome. Great polish shine on it. I think I've done a pretty decent job for the first attempt. Never doing it before. Hopefully never doing it again. But yeah, super happy with the outcome. Could have been a little bit better with some bits and bobs, but overall pretty happy. If you have enjoyed this part of the series, please don't forget to hit a like, subscribe, comment, stay tuned for more. ChilledCow out.